Hello, my name is Daniel Garcia, and this is my oral report number one. I'm doing it on a study called Perspectives on a Professional Communication Profile and Needs of Emerging Occupational Therapists of the Millennial Generation. Um, this is a study that examines the professional communication profile of millennial occupational therapists. As a millennial looking to become an occupational therapist, I will be heading into a workforce with many professionals of other generations, and it is important that we figure out how to effectively communicate with each other. The article begins by describing who millennials are. These are a group of individuals born between 1982 and 2000. Um, they make up roughly 23% or more of the occupational therapists in the workforce. Generation X makes born between 1965 and 1981 makes up 47% of occupational therapists, and Boomers make up the rest, and they were born between 46 and 64. The authors understand the importance of effective professional communication, so they set out to compare how millennial OTs describe their communication profile compared to the perspective of their managers. Um, they aim to analyze the accuracy of communication stereotypes through the lens of generational theory. This theory looks at how people born over a range of roughly 20 years are influenced by the social cultural environment. So these are sets of shared experiences during formative years that impact the way people think and communicate. For example, millennials on average were born with more access to technology like the internet when they were growing up than previous generation. This access, in my opinion, might have led to some of the stereotypes people have of millennials that will be described later in the study. Um, the authors highlight positive traits of millennials. They bring up how some of the traits are that they are highly educated, they're confident, they're optimistic, but they also note some of the negative stereotypes. Some of the stereotypes include that millennials are narcissistic, technology dependent, poor communicators, uh, unable to receive constructive feedback, and they tend to feel entitled. As part of this cohort of millennials, I've heard these stereotypes myself. I personally heard someone say, we spend so much time on our computers that we did not have enough time to practice communicating face to face with people, which in my opinion is, that's a fair critique. In the study, the authors created an online survey that was completed by both the millennial OTs and their managers. The study included questions on demographics, communication preferences, and perceived communication skills. The authors then analyzed the results of the survey, comparing the responses from these two groups. The results of the study showed differences in how millennial OTs grade their communication skills compared to how their managers see them. Um, the authors noted that millennial OTs rated themselves higher in communication skills than their managers did. This tells me, as a millennial, that I may need to work on my communication skills as I may not be as good as I think I am. The authors also concluded that the study supported some of the communication stereotypes about millennials, but also highlighted some of the inaccuracies about millennials. For example, it was noted that certain modes of communication were preferred by millennials, while the stereotype might be that we prefer digital communication. The study showed that most millennials preferred face to face interactions and dialogues um, in things like performance evaluations. I think this is an important thing to note because not all stereotypes about millennials seem to be accurate. It is important for me because I need to make sure that I can describe my communication style with my future manager so that we can know each other's preferences without making any assumptions. In terms of limitations, the authors acknowledged that it was like a small sample size in only one country. Um, Additionally, the survey relied on self-reported data, which may introduce some bias. But despite these limitations, the authors noted that their study contributes to the growing body of literature on generational differences in the workplace and highlights the importance of effective communication in the professional development of OTs. Uh, Overall, the study provides valuable insights into the communication skills and needs of millennial OTs. It highlights the importance of effective communication in their professional development. The study suggests that occupational therapy managers may benefit from a greater understanding of the communicational profile of emerging OTs. I also got that we should not make any assumptions about how other generations communicate without first speaking to the person.